That Championship Season is a renowned play written by Jason Miller, an American playwright and actor, in 1972. The story is set in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and revolves around a retired Catholic high school basketball coach who is terminally ill. The play delves into the 20th anniversary celebration of the coach's team winning the state championship, bringing together his former players. That Championship Season received critical acclaim, earning prestigious awards such as the Pulitzer Prize for Drama and the Tony Award for Best Play. The play unfolds in 3 acts. In Act 1, the central character, known simply as Coach, hosts a reunion gathering at his home for the victorious Pennsylvania State Basketball Championship team from 2 decades ago. 2 members of the starting lineup, Tom Daly and George Sikowski, engage in conversation in Coach's living room. Tom struggles with alcoholism, while George has become the mayor of Scranton. Coach is currently out with 2 other members of the starting lineup, Tom's brother James, who also serves as George's campaign manager, and Phil Romano, a wealthy business owner, to fetch food and drinks. George and Tom express concern over Coach's health, discussing a recent operation. They both lament the absence of Martin, the team's star player who made the game-winning shot, as he has never returned to Scranton. George also mentions his expectation of a significant campaign contribution from Phil, acknowledging that he owes his mayoral victory to Coach's influential standing in the community. As Coach, James, and Phil return, they engage in a conversation about George's re-election campaign. When Tom excuses himself to use the bathroom, the remaining men engage in hushed discussions about their former teammates' struggle with alcoholism. The group also laments the decline of respect in contemporary American society. Despite Coach's urging for unity and support towards George's re-election campaign, Phil voices doubt and skepticism. He highlights George's past mistakes as mayor, such as raising taxes and making embarrassing decisions like purchasing an elephant for the zoo that died shortly after. Coach becomes increasingly agitated by the lack of cohesion in the room and the broader disunity prevailing in America. Eventually, George assists Coach upstairs to rest. During George's absence, Phil confides in James that he won't contribute to George's campaign. James counters by revealing that Phil's reluctance stems from his affair with Marion, George's wife. When George returns, James exposes Phil's plan to support the rival candidate, Norman Charman. In response, George threatens to smear Charman, citing the communist background of Charman's uncle. Phil asserts that George cannot win without his support, regardless of his rival's connections. James then discloses the affair between Phil and Marion, a revelation that Phil does not deny. Enraged, George grabs a rifle from the wall and points it at Phil. However, Coach intervenes, diffusing the tense situation and persuading George to lower the weapon. In Act 2, despite the revelation of the affair, Coach emphasizes the importance of unity and teamwork to secure George's re-election. However, Phil remains defiant and refuses to align himself with the others. James, displaying unexpected political shrewdness, challenges Phil to call Charman immediately and offer a campaign contribution. When Phil makes the call, Charman rejects his offer, leading Phil to realize that James orchestrated this outcome to expose Phil's foolishness. Meanwhile, Tom, who frequently visits the bathroom due to his intoxication, stumbles down the stairs but fortunately sustains no injuries. James becomes increasingly agitated by the sacrifices and excuses he continually makes for his alcoholic brother. Coach separately converses with Phil and George on the porch, attempting to reconcile the two and encourage them to work together to secure victory in the election. With Phil reluctantly back on George's side, he suggests hiring a professional campaign manager to replace James. However, James vehemently refuses, prompting Phil to punch him in the face. In retaliation, James threatens to expose damaging information that could ruin George's campaign if he is forced to step down as the campaign manager. As Act 2 concludes, George, overwhelmed by the situation, vomits into the championship trophy. In Act 3, Coach faces increasing challenges in keeping the group united. His cruel and bigoted nature becomes more apparent as he labels James as a complainer for not being a team player. In a disturbing turn, Coach advises George to go home and physically harm his wife as retribution for her infidelity. When George refuses, Coach accuses him of lacking pride. Coach also berates Tom for his alcoholism, pushing him to his breaking point. Tom reveals the reason why Martin never returned to Scranton. According to Martin, coach instructed him to intentionally injure the opponent's best player during the state championship game, resulting in the boy suffering broken ribs. Coach vehemently denies these allegations and responds by punching Tom. The confrontation forces Coach to reflect on the championship game and the sacrifices that were made to secure victory. Coach plays an audio recording of the winning shot and the ensuing celebration, allowing the men to momentarily escape into the nostalgia of that moment while overlooking the dark truths that surround it. The group ultimately reconciles, and Coach captures a photograph of the four men together, symbolizing their unity. They also take a picture of Coach alone. That championship season is a poignant and thought-provoking play that explores the fractures within the social fabric of 1970s America. It exposes the dangers of romanticizing the past while shedding light on the hidden perils that come with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.